I'm showing the Swan Lake.
That was a Swan Lake, and I was dancing with a fantastic girl called John Gare.
Beautiful.
She was a beautiful ballerina, and I enjoyed today. I danced Sleeping Beauty with her. I danced all the ballet with her.
And who did the choreography with?
The Sleeping Beauty was the original choreography, you know, and so it was wonderful.
One more. I'm going to show this Othello.
That was the ballet called Othello. And that was my ex-wife, Andrea Carlsen. And
was she with the Danish ballet?
No, she was half Nicaraguay, half Norwegian.
Oh, she was?
Yeah, and then she was a beautiful ballerina.
And this is you?
She's me, yeah, that's me as Othello.
As Othello, and I have one more that I have.
This one is a choreographer did the ballet for me in Paris, but I forgot the name of the ballet. He was a very good ballet.
But so you were the star of this ballet.
Oh, yeah.
But you were famous also. Most dancers became famous for certain things that they danced. Yours was Prince Igor, right?
Yeah.
And why was that so interesting for the people?
The Prince Igor is the most exciting ballet. Well, I think you saw when you came to the performance last week. It's the most exciting ballet that dance. But you see, unfortunately, they don't give that. The ballet company don't give that anymore.
I remember when Goodenough and Baryshnikov used to come to Tanya's classes, but they used to also teach drama.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's what you were talking about. They're not dead.
That's what I like. I like the drama. I like when somebody dances. I like to see a feeling. I like to see the music come from the art.
They knew how to act, right?
Oh yeah, I love that. I just, but as I say now, everything is technique, and nothing else.
Well, you were honored with a group of people called the Men from the Ballet Russe.
My old friend.
And I think the Media City, what's her name?
Media City Ballet.
Yeah, Media City Ballet. Natasha Middleton put on this group and honored Zorich and Platt, Moreno, Tremaine, and you.
Yeah.
And they were all dancers at one time with the Ballet Russe.
Ballet Russe, yeah. And Natasha is a most wonderful person I ever know. You know, I know her since she was a little girl because I was working with her father. But she is fantastic choreographer. She's a very nice lady. She has a lot of personality, and when she works, she likes expression.
Because she learned that her father was Andre Tremaine.
Yeah, right.
And she took classes from George Zorich.
Yeah, she took George Zorich. George Zorich is my old friend. We know each other for 50 years.
And Mark Platt.
Mark Platt also, but I didn't know Mark Platt as well as I know Zorich or Victor Moreno or Andre Tremaine, you know.
Victor Moreno danced. He came from Buenos Aires.
Yeah, he came from Buenos Aires.
I thought the interesting thing was everyone was trying to be Russianized, and they changed Mark Platt's name to Mark Platoff for some time. Except for someone like you, who had the French background, right?
But it was, and I want to say another thing about the Media City Ballet. The Media City Ballet, for me, I don't want to sound prejudiced because I teach there.
You teach there, yes.
And I teach all the company every week, and I have a wonderful dancer. She has the best corps de ballet there is in Los Angeles. I don't understand why Los Angeles doesn't have any ballet company. I never understood that.
We never supported dance the way we should.
Every other city in the United States,
it's true.
They have a wonderful ballet company. Los Angeles,
well, we have to come to Burbank then and see you.
Oh, absolutely.
Or take your class.
Absolutely.
Can I come take your class?
You can, anytime you want.
Thank you, Paul.
Yeah, you're very welcome, and I'm very happy to be here, and I enjoy every minute.
Thank you very much, and don't go away. We'll be right back with a photographer who did this portrait of me and this other beautiful portrait, Garrett Gyurgen. Oh, you're wonderful. Thank you. Hi, I'm back, and I'm here with photographer Garrett Gyurgen. I'm saying it wrong. I'm Armenian, and I can't say Georgian the right way, or Gurjan, is that right? Gurjan, who was born and raised in Armenia. Garrick went to the University, UC San Diego, where he majored in biochemistry on his path to becoming a doctor. But in an abrupt turnaround, he transferred to Cal State Northridge. And why did you change to Northridge? You were going to be a doctor, and then all of a sudden, here we are at Northridge.
Well, the UCSD, where I was studying biochemistry, did not have a photography degree at that time, so I needed to go to a school that had a photo department, degree.
But
so
did you know that at the time, that you wanted to be a photographer?
Well, it was a hard decision to make because the whole time I was growing up with my family and friends, you know, I was expected, or I thought I was going to be a doctor. So my best friend was about the same age, and we went to, you know, he went to UCLA, I went to UCSD. And we're on the same path.
Right.
So you know, taking the same classes and everything, and you know, your parents expect you to go through with that plan, and it changed when I started volunteering at the hospital, and just did not like the whole hospital environment. And
it's funny because your father was the cultural minister in Armenia, right? Assistant cultural minister. What is he?
He is a deputy minister of culture now.
Now, but at the time, he's not a professional, and for him to think that instead of growing up in the arts, you would grow up to be a doctor.
Well, it was more my mom than
I see.
Than
because
my
it
dad.
seems different, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, they both went to the Polytechnic Institute in Armenia, so they, you know, they came to art, or my dad came to art through architecture. He's an architect.
I see.
So
so they needed a profession.
Exactly, and I had a hard time convincing myself that I could be a photographer, going from hoping to become a doctor to seeing myself as a photographer. And,
right.
And then I went to Cal State Northridge, and I graduated from there. And then I went back to school to Art Center, College of Design in Pasadena.
Yes, you got a Bachelor of Fine Arts from Art Center, and you had assignments from Time Magazine and Travel and Leisure, and so you started working a lot as a photographer.
Yeah, coming out of school, you have to, you know, get yourself out there and try to get some work. So as a freelance photographer, it's all on your shoulders. You have to call and go and see people and get the work.
Did you think that you would continue to do this journalistic type of work, or were you thinking in fine arts terms?
Well, the work I've done for those magazines was portraiture.
It was?
Yeah, it was not journalistic type photography.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I do consider myself as a portraitist, so everything I've done is mostly portraits, some fashion. So it's people that I'm interested in. And
well, then how did you start, when you went in, say, on assignment to do a portrait of a business person for Time, what would you look for to do that portrait?
Well, it's always about the person. It's always about, you know, people and getting some kind of a connection. And it's the same whether it's a book project that I'm working on or magazine work. It's trying to get, you know, the personal connection, because in every photograph I feel like it's not just the person, it's me and the person.
Yeah, do you put yourself into it?
I mean, yes. Recently I had a show which you also came to, and just having everything in that one gallery, you start noticing the similarities and things that are common, and it's always the relationship of you and that person.
I always think the photographer or the painter or the person who's doing the portrait puts a part of them in some way themselves. Even for you, it's the composition.
Yes,
yes,
but it's more than the composition. Yes, it is a composition. That's a very big part of my work. That's, you know, something that I think about a lot. But it's also, if you have, you know, one corner and you have 10 different photographers, and you give them the camera and say, photograph this person from this same angle, they would all get something different results. And it's also, you know, most of it is, you know, their connection with the person. It might not be a very deep connection. I mean, sometimes you meet a person.
Yeah, you have to make a decision right away,
right? Like it's 15 minutes that you spend with them, but it's something happens